Hi everyone, Solly Hines, aka DiamondNelsonMailUnderground.com. I'm very, very happy to say that we're here with Carla and Heidi from the Butcher Babies.
Hi.
Nice to meet you both.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, Ollie.
So, we're about to cut the chase a little bit here. So, your new album's been out for about a year now, Take It Like a Man.
It's only been like 6 months. I mean, come on.
Was it that short?
Yeah, it came out in August, so. I don't know. Yeah, not quite a year. It's not our baby's birthday yet.
Well, it's a great album. I had a 16-hour coach journey. I live in the north of Scotland, so
wow.
come down to the southwest.
Thank you.
And I think I listened to it at least 5 times.
Thank you. That's cool.
So, and it's great. And I think one thing I noticed about it only yesterday was the cover. I mean, I see you got the little girl there with the mask on, and I was thinking that looks like the one from Quiet Riot, Mental Health.
Huh?
A little bit. Do you know that?
There's I
don't know.
To be honest, I never quite liked Quiet Riot. I'm gonna be admit, so I never don't know what their album covers look like.
What is it? What is it?
It's like a guy in a straitjacket with a mask, a little bit like the one.
Okay.
I was actually leading it to a compliment. I was
Oh, okay, sorry. No, I was just like, what? No, I didn't, because you know, we want it to be original and it has a really good meaning behind it.
Yeah.
So for us, it's to hear that it had already been done. We're like, shit.
Oh no, it's not like it's not like a carbon copy.
Oh, okay,
I was
okay.
like, oh, it looks a little bit like.
Oh,
And I was
okay.
like, oh, that's a pretty cool kind of callback. You know what I mean? Because I know you get a lot of criticism from dickheads for lack of a better word. They're like, oh, they're not metal, and I'm like, if you can have like a little thing like that, it's like, oh, that's like this.
Well, we actually did that with our Uncovered EP.
Yeah.
We did obviously covers as songs, but we did a cover of a cover as well. We did our version of the Guns N' Roses Lies cover, and it's so funny because I saw online someone was like, "This is far too close to be." And we're like, oh, no shit, Sherlock. It's a cover of a cover and a covers EP.
You know what? I know the exact article you're on about.
Oh,
Because I read that and I was like,
yeah. I did. The thing is, I was like, do you not realize that's on purpose?
Yeah.
Because then now you look stupid.
It was the same thing recently, and we had our Monsters Ball music video came out. We were supposed to be jazz singers in a club and doing this, and people were like, oh my god, they're lip syncing. Really? We're doing a parody music video, of course we're thinking. But
you know, the album cover to us is really unique because, you know, growing up as girls, they always say, you know, you're gonna wear little frilly dresses and this is what you can. And I like to be a girl and dress up girly sometimes, but the helmet represents just being a fighter and a badass. And it's just a little girl growing up to be her badass self.
there's so many badass tracks on the album.
Thank you.
Never Go Back is my favourite, but Dead Man Walking, For the Fight, there's just so many good stuff on there.
Thank you. That's good to hear.
Pick you up. But I noticed since you released the first single in 2011, there's been at least one release every year. And you also mentioned in another interview you were thinking of doing another covers EP.
We'll see.
So could that materialize this year at some point, or
possibly? I know that we're really antsy to write another full-length album, but it is a possibility. You know, we thought so many times like, oh man, this would be a great song to cover. This would be a cool song to cover. So I think I would love to do that in between every album. Now we just have to convince the record label.
That's strange because I thought usually record labels they love covers. I guess if you
I think it's a release.
It's a release, and you have to also remember they have to pay for the recording and everything.
I guess as well, with some of the artists you're covering, like SOD, it's not the most marketable name recognition.
It's not about name recognition, it's just about, like I said, the label has to pay the producer to put it out. So there's money involved in putting out our last EP of cover songs did very well, so maybe they'd be down for it.
It was a limited edition too, and sold out. And we definitely did.
So I went to buy it today and it was 77
We didn't.
Oh my God!
We didn't pick those bands to be marketable. We picked them because they had some kind of influence on us as musicians as kids, and that's why we did those specific bands.
Yeah, but I was thinking more like the record label would prefer to use a cover Iron Maiden or something
Maybe.
rather than
Maybe.
a specific band that influenced you.
Perhaps.
Perhaps. I'm
No,
not
I've never
this
asked-
essentially.
I've never asked them.
They trust our decisions.
They've been very, very trusting with us. They let us do whatever we want, pretty much. So maybe we can just walk in one day and be like, "Yo, second uncovered EP," and they're like, "All right." Who knows? But we'll see.
Well, obviously, like I say, the album title was Taken Like a Man. I'm not going to ask you about it because I know you've been asked about it every day, and I get it. But just before it came out, I watched the videos you both did for the U Rock Foundation,
Oh.
and some of the things you've both been through is incredible. So to really channel that for the
Well, yeah. I mean, a lot of those things, are things that we have battled our entire lives and emotions that we've battled our whole lives. And there are things on Take It Like a Man that I decided I never ever wanted to talk about ever in my life. I was just never going to talk about it with anybody. And as soon as I opened up my mind and started hashing those emotions out on paper, it would word vomit on the paper, and I was on the bus and I was bawling my eyes out, and I realized that not only did I need to put these emotions into this song for a listener, but I needed to do it for myself, and I needed that release. I needed to be able to find a way to turn that negativity into a positive. And I'm so glad that I did. I mean, both of us have done the same thing, and we've both come out better people because of it. And I'm excited to pour more emotion and honesty to the next time.
Of course, both of us, like you said in our interviews, we've both been through a lot. People have a misconception about us that, we're these pretty girls who decided one day we liked metal music and we wanted to be in a band. But, we really grew up going through very difficult situations, and metal music for us was a safe haven amidst this chaos that was our life. So, for us to be able to now be in a position to give back to metal by really taking those feelings and making great music out of them, it's very important to us to be honest and really get out what we want to get out and show kids they're not alone.
That's great. Well, you mentioned preconceptions there, and I saw you guys at a grass pop last year. That's the first time I'd even heard of you. So I went with a couple of friends, and one of them was looking up all the descriptions on the album, and it said the self-proclaimed rock sluts.
Oh my God!
Is it grass pop? Yeah, it's funny because years ago, somebody said, "Oh, this is a new genre of music called slut metal." It was a joke.
And it wasn't even us, it
for
was
a major
someone on our
festival
YouTube.
to use it as a description of our music is kind of
Quite insulting.
it is a little bit insulting. I'm surprised that they used that, but nonetheless, whatever. We had a great show there, and I'm glad you came to see it. And no, we are not a
Self-proclaimed slut
Yeah.
metal. The thing is, it was some douchebag on YouTube, and we thought it was hilarious. And so when someone brought it up one time, we laughed about it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it's that weird self-proclaimed.
That's what we've learned over the years, that you can't necessarily repeat things all the time on social media because people really just regurgitate it, and something that you think is funny, other people don't get the joke, and they turn into something serious, and that definitely is not what we're about.
Well, this is it. I saw the description. I went, no, all right. And then you came on, and I was like, no, wait a minute. This is actually good.
Aw, yay! Thank you.
I was really impressed. I was like, oh, that's great.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. And but on that note, like you say, a lot has been made, rightly or wrongly, connecting the band with sexuality and sexual identity.
Right.
Would you agree that that's blown out of proportion?
I completely agree it's blown out of proportion. You know, when we first started this band, we didn't do it to go out there and strut around on stage like Playboy models. We did it as kind of a fuck you to the cookie cutter music industry. We were paying tribute to a woman in metal that we respected, you know, Wendy O. Williams, and that was it. And our show has never been sexual.
I mean, what you see now is exactly what it was then. Just with the nipple tape, and that was it. And to everyone who saw a show, really, they knew it was nothing sexual. You didn't go to Wendy O. Williams shows and see her blow up cars and nipple tape and think that that's sexual. And you know, even our band is named after a Wendy O song, Plasmatics, and you know, for us, that's a female who paved the way for us to do what we do. And as Carla stated, you know, that was a big giant fuck you to the music industry when they said so many times beforehand, no, you don't look like you like metal, so you can't do that. You're gonna be a country singer. That happened to me. No, we're gonna cut your hair. You're gonna be 19 and you're gonna sing country. And that's the music industry in reality. And for us, it was kind of just a big fuck you. Don't tell me what to look like. Don't tell me what to sound like. Don't tell me who to be. I'm gonna be myself. And that's kind of where that all lies.
Yeah. Well, so you mentioned Wendy O. Williams there, who was a real trailblazer along with the likes of Girls' School, Lita Ford, and Dora Fish. Do you believe that they have really helped accept the acceptance of women in heavier rock now? Do you feel more accepted now than say 10 years ago or so?
Of course, and I think it gets better every day. We still have a long way to go. People still want to classify, you know, female-fronted bands as female-fronted. They don't want to say it's just a metal band. But, you know, that's a double-edged sword because there's some people who are avid fans of female-fronted bands and they seek it out. So it'll always be a double-edged sword, but it's really cool to see how many women are involved in the rock and roll industry nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, sort of following on from that, do you see yourselves as helping out young girls into metal?
Yes, you know, when we started this band, we didn't realize how much we would be influencing young girls. We started as just a group of friends that wanted to make music, you know, make some noise in the Sunset Strip. We had no idea that years later we'd be, you know, traveling the world together. And it's become very important for us to use it as a platform to get our message out there. And it's so cool for us to see these young girls come up to us after shows and say, I started a metal band, you know, in my hometown because I'm so influenced by you guys. And that's just, it's mind-blowing that we're influencing these young girls. And it's just, it's incredible.
You know, the moment that we realized we had that platform to influence young kids and maybe be a role model, we both started living our lives in a more positive manner. You know, I wouldn't feel comfortable, even though the show back in the day was metal, but I still wouldn't feel comfortable playing in front of kids with nipple tape nowadays. Absolutely not. I just think that regardless of the message that had, I think we have a better one now, in the sense of be yourself. And that message that we had at the beginning, it came across and it did its job, but I wouldn't feel comfortable playing in front of kids like that. And I think that now, since we've had the possibility of being some young girl's role model, my life is so dramatically different, very much more positive.
Speaking of young girls and role models, I've never asked anyone about merchandise before, but I'm going to have to. I was wondering, do you have merchandise for babies? Because I have a 4-month-old niece called Heidi. And I want to get her like a Butcher
We
Baby.
need to have some Butcher Baby's baby merch. We'll get to it eventually. So.
Yeah, you know, it's so funny. We've had that question before where it's like, you need onesies.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But it's, like I said, I was like, it's Butcher Babies. My baby niece is called Heidi. This is just like
Yeah. we've had fans custom make them.
Mm.
They'll, you know, get their own little like fabric paint and they'll make them.
So there's an idea, be crafty.
There you go.
Will wanted us to cut it off, he came in twice and said. cut
This
it
is the
off,
first
so
day
I'm
of
so
the
sorry.
week that I've got the right bus, so I don't have the mental capacity to even cut a t-shirt.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, he's making us end it, he's
Okay.
coming 3 times, I'm so sorry. We
Awesome.
have another one coming up too,
Yeah.
so we have to.
Okay. Right, well on that note, it's been a real pleasure meeting you and speaking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Really appreciate
Thank you
it.
so much.
And I'm glad you enjoyed the album and thanks for making the trip.
Oh, that's not bad.
Ah.